I used to think I was just bad at love. Too clingy, too distant, too intense, and too quiet, depending on who you asked. But no one told me that the way I love, the way I show love, feel it, fear it, run from it, chase it, all of it started long before I ever said I love you to anyone. It started when I was 5. I remember being that little girl sitting on the stairs watching my parents fight in the kitchen. I didn't know what they were fighting about. I just knew it made my chest feel tight, so I stayed quiet. I tiptoed around loud voices. I became small dot invisible, careful, and that's where my love style was born. Not from romance movies or teenage heartbreaks, but from survival. Turns out, according to attachment theory, our love style is not just who we are, it's who we had to become. Nicole Lepera said the way we attach to others is a mirror of how we first attached to safety. Some of us grew up with parents who were present, warm, and emotionally available. They held space for our emotions, taught us that love can be soft, safe, and secure. Others, not so much. Some of us learned that love equals attention, but only if we earned it, with achievements, with perfection, and with silence. Some of us were loved on one day, then ignored the next, and we learned to fear stability because we mistook chaos for passion. Let me ask you something. Do you ever find yourself pulling away when someone gets too close? Or maybe the opposite, you get so close so fast, you lose yourself in them. That's not just who you are, that's your inner child trying to protect you, the only way she knows how. There are 4 common love styles, rooted in attachment theory. 1. Secure. You feel safe, giving and receiving love. You trust. You communicate. Love feels natural. 2. Anxious. You fear abandonment. You need constant reassurance. Love feels like walking on eggshells. 3. Avoidant. You crave independence. You shut down emotionally. Love feels suffocating. 4. Fearful avoidant. Disorganized. You want love desperately, but push it away. Love feels confusing, terrifying, and unpredictable. Which one feels like home to you? I didn't know for the longest time why I'd get anxious when someone didn't text me back in 20 minutes, or why I'd sabotage something good just to feel safe again. It wasn't until I went to therapy that I realized I wasn't broken but programmed. If you don't heal what hurt you, you'll bleed on people who didn't cut you. And that's what I was doing, bleeding love wounds all over people who tried to love me. When I started healing, I started rewriting the script I inherited. I stopped confusing inconsistency with chemistry. I stopped chasing people who made me feel like love was a test, and I started learning how to love myself in the same way I wanted others to love me. Because no one teaches us this in school. No one sits you down and says, hey, the way you love today has everything to do with what you didn't get as a child. But it does. There's this quote I love by Brianna Wiest. Your triggers are not there to shame you. They are there to show you what still needs healing. And for me, my biggest trigger was rejection, being left out, feeling not enough. But now, instead of spiraling, I get curious. Why does this hurt me so much? What memory is this pulling from? What version of me still needs to be held? Because emotional maturity isn't about never reacting. It's about knowing why you react and choosing not to let the past drive the present. So if you're listening to this, and thinking, maybe I've been loving people from my wounds, not from my worth. You're not alone, you're just human. And now you're becoming aware, and awareness, that's where the magic begins. You are not responsible for the wounds you received in childhood, but you are responsible for the way you carry them now. So ask yourself, how did love feel when you were young? Was it safe or scary? Did you have to earn it, or was it freely given? And then ask yourself, how do you love now? Do you show up or shut down? Do you chase or hide? These answers are not here to judge you. They're here to free you. Because healing doesn't always look like joy and peace. Sometimes it looks like crying over a song you didn't know, held so many buried memories. Sometimes it looks like walking away from someone who reminds you of a love you had to fight for. And sometimes it looks like sitting alone on a Friday night because you finally stopped settling. So, no, you're not bad at love. You're just learning how to love differently, more consciously, more kindly, and more securely. You're becoming the woman your younger self needed. And that is the most powerful kind of love there is. Thank you for listening. If this touched you, if you saw yourself in these words, know that healing is not linear, but it is possible. And love, real love, starts within. If this spoke to your heart, I would love for you to subscribe, leave me a little note in the comments, or just send some love. Your presence here is a gift, and I'm so grateful you chose to spend your precious time with me.